Let's jump into Midnight Suns gameplay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you did you watch both gameplay videos, or was this the first one that you watched from this day
So
ago?
the only one I've seen was the one day ago, the September 7th one, the 20
Okay.
minuter. Yeah.
And what
So
did you think?
yeah, so this was a game like when it was announced when we were watching the what was it even for that we were watching? It was like opening night live. The Jeff Keighley
Uh,
something. I can't quite remember what the name is. Very sorry, Jeff, if you're watching this.
no, wasn't the video game awards. It was like
No, but
Summerfest something
I don't think it
or
was Summerfest even. Oh my gosh. Travis, if you're in there, throw us a rope. But nonetheless, when I saw like the first trailer for it, I was just blown away by that trailer. I think we all were. It was just I mean, look at my face right now. I've just got like Midnight Suns.
Gamescom.
Yeah, Gamescom. There you go. Um so yeah, like just seeing all the characters with like their yellowish, like yellow and gold or gold and black, whatever the aesthetic that they had for their costumes. It was just so freaking cool. It looked so gorgeous. Um, so like that just got me so hyped. And again, I had a lot of questions just because I know what type of games Firex has made in the past, XCOM, and it was so hard for me to picture, especially when they were like throwing out things like we're sharing zero mechanics from our previous games and we're going to be doing something completely original and like all these other things. So I was just fascinated more than anything. I listened to Travis and Dylan's episode like breaking down that gameplay, so and I had never actually seen the gameplay but just like hearing their descriptions of it again got me interested. And then watching this one, it I I think I am still very intrigued with the game. I can't say it's a day one buy for me, but I do really like tactics games. I think the card mechanic thing, I don't know what type of like feedback it's getting online. But I think it's a pretty interesting idea, honestly. I think it's something unique to like unique for the series from what we've seen in the past. Especially just seeing like some of the cards that come up, like there was the one with like Doctor Strange's like axe and stuff like that. I just thought it was really cool because it's showing us abilities from these characters. And again, I'm kind of assuming that they're actually like attacks and stuff that they might have in the comics. I feel like, and again, that's me and having no knowledge on that, so I'm kind of making an assumption there. But if that is the case, I think it's really cool because then it's showing us some more like lore for these characters where maybe they don't show that in the MCU, and then it's like, oh, I didn't even know that he had that, as his character. I think it's really cool because I think of a game sort of like the Arkham series, how there was a lot of things in there that just had like descriptions of like Batman's blah 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 from this, and it's like telling this story, but it's like super background stuff that doesn't really help you like in that moment, but it just helps fill in the cracks on like the lore of the characters. And
Yeah.
I think it's a fun way to do it because it incorporates it into the gameplay. Like you are literally using these cards. If I'm drawing that Doctor Strange like axe finisher, whatever it is, I'm seeing it visually and I'm like, okay, I'm affiliating this type of ability with this character now. Whereas before, all I thought Doctor Strange had was a sling ring, his little whip thing and like the Eye of Agamotto. Um, so I think it's really cool because it allows us to learn more about these characters and incorporate in the gameplay. And I'm very not turned off on the fact that it is a card system. I've played a few of those types of card games in the past, like Loop Hero, Slay the Spire, and I quite enjoy it. Again, I feel like it's just you either like it or you don't. So I don't know. What do you think about the cards? Because you were really interested for a number of reasons. The fact that this is a Marvel game, you got Robbie Reyes in there. I'm sure you love the look of him. Me and
Double
Dylan
chain.
didn't. Me and Dylan didn't love it. I'm speaking for Dylan because this is what he said on the last episode. He's not the biggest fan of the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, and I just don't know anything about the character. And personally, I just prefer the look of Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider with like the bike and everything. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but Robbie Reyes he drives like a car, right? Like a muscle car. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just if I had to pick the two, I would pick the one that I know, and I don't see that version. But yeah, what do you think about the game? Because I don't think I've heard your thoughts on the original gameplay. Because I think you have seen that one, haven't you?
Yeah,
The first one.
I watched the first one, and for me it didn't, as a voice crack. For me it didn't it was not what I was expecting. And then watching this one, it looked more of the same that just I wasn't expecting. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Again, when I say it's not something that I was really expecting or really pumped on, in no way is that negative, because it looks great. It looks exciting with the different characters, the customizations, and these cards and the character abilities, everything like that. I think is fantastic. It's just not something I would get day one, and I mean that in the
Yeah.
sense it just kind of caught me off guard. Where uh, I don't want to say I was going and expecting something like Gears Tactics, but I was expecting something much more like an overhead style, turn based tactical game.
This is turn based, I believe.
Oh yeah, it is. It's got many of those
Yeah.
elements of a turn-based, like tactical, like uh, strategy game,
Hmm.
and that's great because I know that's obviously what it's labeled as and classified as. I just was expecting it to be in a different. I don't want to say perspective, but um, I thought it would be very different. That's all I can really
Like,
say.
are you saying like maybe more like visual, like the top down aspect? Maybe the maps would look different. Maybe the character
Yeah,
combat would look different.
yeah. Like I'm not a huge fan per se of how turn-based this is and how close we are into it. Like I'm torn between like, okay, if they wanted it to be super close into the action like this, why didn't they just make it like a go in like fighting game at the same time, as opposed to like if we're playing strategically, I like to have more of an overhead, consistent
Mm,
view of everything. And that's me
I see
speaking
what you're
from
saying.
playing RTS games out the wazoo. I like to see the whole battlefield.
Right. No, yeah,
Um,
that's a fair point, I think, because especially when you think of like the characters that we're using in this game, like even they were saying like the combat is going to be relatively fast paced because you think about it, like if I'm watching the Avengers, they're not taking their turns fighting, kicking each other's ass. Like it's very fast paced, very action heavy. um I definitely agree with you because I grew up playing RTS games. I've really grown to love turn-based strategy games in the like recently, grand strategy to be precise, which is like on a massive scale. And I played a little bit of XCOM, a little bit more Fire Emblem, so I quite enjoy those tactics games. But in this one, I think I was really intrigued by the card system actually, which is kind of interesting because when I listened to the episode with Dylan and Travis, and by the way, go check out their episode on this because they dive way deeper than probably what we're gonna hit on this one. Um, but nonetheless, I just really like the idea of the card system. I think it's really unique, and I thought the usage of it with these superheroes was really fun. I think I'm a little turn off on like the fact that it seems like it's only like three people on your team like on these missions. Um, I haven't seen anything like more than three, so I'm just kind of assuming that that's the case. And I yeah, I feel like I'm more positive on it than negative. I feel like I'm gonna be keeping an eye on it. I don't want to say I'm gonna commit to get it right away. I'm really interested to see like I don't know. Is this an $80 game? You think?
There's no way it's not going to be an $80 game for
Yeah,
sure. And that's like, again, not day one for me, but when it goes on sale, I
yeah,
am confident I'd buy it.
yeah. And I I feel like if I just saw like the gameplay on the map, I'd been like, you can never see me getting this $80 game, you know. But like when I think about some of the other mechanics that are in this game, whether it's the main protagonist that you can kind of customize and change their abilities and stuff like that, um, I I always love when you can create your own character and put them in the fray. That's why I love Fire Emblem because the main protagonist. I mean, other than this latest one and all the other ones, like you could actually like make the main character like you and customize them. And I mean, you can still customize like their abilities and stuff like that and the way that they play. But I just always love when you can just kind of throw yourself in the mix. And who doesn't want to be, you know, like in the Marvel universe or something like that, you know, like this will definitely be a narrative heavy character. Like he will probably still be the hunter. So you can't really like make it, you know, Kirklin Patzer, the Ocean Master in there kicking ass, looking like Orm. But I still like that there is some customization, and then like I look over from my created character and like Wolverine's next to me or something like that. Like that's just such a fun idea for me. Um, so I think that's really cool. I really like the look of the Abbey system and how it's just like going around interacting with the heroes. I think it looks okay. I don't think it's groundbreaking, like Lee gorgeous, but and I don't think it's bad at all. I think those close-ups of the characters looks really cool, and I think that'd be a fun area to explore and stuff like that. And yeah, like I feel like just getting back to the gameplay, I hope it's I hope it's really fun to play and like because they're more fast-paced levels. I hope it's not just like um maybe let me rephrase that. I hope I can just really get sucked in and not
Mm-hmm.
just be like, okay, I got like a 10-minute cutscene, 3 minutes of gameplay, 10-minute cutscene I don't really care about or something like that. You know, like I hope it all flows together really well because I want it to do really well. I think this is a really unique way of doing like a Marvel game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I never would have guessed we'd be getting a Marvel Tactics or something like that, and so like having someone like Wolverine in there, you know, and some other characters. There's a couple from the Runaways I have zero knowledge on, but I like the roster from what I've seen so far. But anyways, I was rambling off there for
No,
a little bit.
ramble away,
Got to
ramble
drink
away.
my water.
Did you get the Avengers game, or did you pass on that?
I passed on that. I definitely let Travis and Dylan down on that one. I was like, oh yeah, this will be fun, all of us to play together. And I remember like getting close to it. I'm like, am I really gonna drop that much money on this game that like seems kind of
Oh,
incomplete? Um,
you
I
pulled
don't
the
think
next time on them. Next
I
time, baby.
I last online 11 years ago. I I liked what I've seen in that game, but I think I just had that realization also around the time when the game was coming out. I'm like, Kirklin, you don't ever fucking finish these games that you buy at $80. You know, like
That's
how about we
Travis
sl-
speaking to you. That's
how
Travis
about we slow
voice.
down on? No, this is my wallet speaking to me. I'm like, how about I slow down on getting these like full price games when like I've shot myself in the foot doing that before because I buy an $80 game, I play for like 10 minutes, and then it's like maybe life gets in the way, maybe I just lose interest, and then next thing you know, it's like half off, and I'm like, I've literally put in less than 10 minutes, and I could have got a half off, So I feel like I maybe had that realization, and then maybe I was just also thinking like, well, if Avengers is really awesome and like all the praise is just going off on it, then yeah, I will pick it up. But when it came out, a lot of people said, go check out their review, Travis and Dylan. But it was good. It was just maybe lacking content. And for like a full price game, I I want a little bit more than that,
Mhm. Yeah, fair enough. Um, I don't have
Anything else
anything
on
else.
Midnight Suns? No.
No, I got nothing else on Midnight Suns.
I
But I
I I,
mean,
re-
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I really like the character of oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget her name, Lilith, like the main
Mm,
antagonist of the. She just looks very freaky. Very much reminds me of like Diablo, like that type of villain. So as soon as I saw her in the trailer, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to know more about this. And I really like the whole just like aesthetic of like the Abbey and how this almost has like a Van Helsing, like feel to it or something. And I mean, a lot of Diablo vibes for me, maybe just because the main antagonist, but I think it's a really, really fun, like storyline from what I've seen so far. So I think that's the last thing I'd want to say on the game so far.
I guess is Lilith the vampire in the MCU? Is that the same Lilith from this game?
I have no idea, actually. I wasn't sure if she was a made up character for the game because the Hunter is obviously a new character that they made for the game in collaboration with Marvel. I love how they keep saying that.
Mm,
Like when they have the Abbey, it's like, this is our brand new hub made in association with Marvel. So it's like, we're not just like going full non canon, even though, I don't know. I guess you don't have to call it non canon when we have so many different multiverses and universes. This could be really anything, but
mhm.
I don't know. Are you looking into it? Did you find who
Oh,
she is?
I looked into it, and I think she's the daughter of Dracula. I think. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff, but I don't know if it's the one and the same Lilith or whatnot. But hey, one step closer to Well, I can't say one step closer because Ghost Rider's in the bloody game anyways. So just give me that paranormal stuff, Feige. On the right track.
Oh yeah, Feige's gonna love this game. He's like, yeah, I put in 3,000 hours on
3,000
Midnight
hours.
Suns, and we got to get Robbie Reyes in there.
Yeah.